The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Roll. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, the way forward for Grand Bahama outlined during the 16th annual Grand Bahama Business Outlook today. The one-day symposium held at the Grand Lucayan Resort attracted a cross-sector of the business community. Tonight, Sabrina Brown tells us that the Minister of Tourism delivered the keynote address.
Minister of Tourism Obi Wilshcombe says Grand Bahama is about to see better days, starting with the new Memories Resort.
I'm very pleased that come tomorrow, 370 rooms will be opened, and that facility will be having year-round 80% occupancy. I'm very pleased because we're working with a gentleman by the name of Stephen Hunter, who is a very progressive young man who understands what we're trying to do, and who believes that he can help us make a difference.
The minister adds that this new property will bring about additional airlift to the island, which will result in sustained economic growth.
When May 1st comes around and we have Bahamas Air participating and bringing from 8 cities in the United States, another 14 gateways, bringing to Grand Bahama new business as a part of Vacation Express, also a part of Sunwing, we're going to be causing business to come to Grand Bahama on a year-round basis. And so we will be moving away from that time when we were boom and busting.
While many were anticipating some good news about the Treasure Bay Casino, Minister Wilshcombe says the government has yet to make a decision on a new operator for that gaming facility.
Unfortunately, I can't report on the casino yet because we made a mistake on the casinos in the past. The last 2 casinos we've had in Freeport. I'm not satisfied that the casino being presented to us right now as a replacement is the casino that we want for Grand Bahama. We want a top-notch casino. We want a name brand casino. We want a casino just like they have in the capital city, where when you hear the name, you want to come because you know the business is going to be exceptional.
He says Grand Bahama can be a hub for travel and trade, but the island must be in a position to compete.
I've heard all the debate in the public about the taxes that were proposed by the Ministry of Finance. And I'm not talking about the VAT, that's another subject. I'm talking about the taxes for services. The truth is, I spoke with the Prime Minister this weekend. He's advised me that following discussions with the Grand Bahama Port Authority and also discussions with Hutchison Mampoa, those taxes are now being reviewed. And so, therefore, we expect some changes because we're not going to stop the growth and the development of Freeport, Grand Bahama. Similarly, our Director General of Tourism will be sitting down today with Hutchison to talk about the taxes at the airport here in Freeport. It is not acceptable, and I understand maybe the circumstances, but it's not acceptable that our taxes here for turnaround and fuel are 126% higher than any taxes in the entire Caribbean.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Well, the Minister for Grand Bahama also addressing the Grand Bahama Business Outlook today. The Honorable Dr. Michael Darville noted that the government is working diligently to revive Grand Bahama's economy.
Oftentimes, we are tempted to associate good governance solely for what we can see or touch. But we all must be mindful that the state of Grand Bahama economy required much preparation for the way forward. This administration has worked tirelessly over the past 18 months to promote the future development and expansion of economic activity that would result in entrepreneurial and employment opportunities for Bahamans throughout the country, and Grand Bahama is no exception.
Sad focused attention will be given to a number of issues on Grand Bahama.
Of duty-free concessions for East and West Grand Bahama. The passing of new environmental protection laws for the city of Freeport and by extension the entire Grand Bahama. The commencement of the extensive environmental studies for Pindus Point, Lewis Yard and the surrounding areas. The negotiation for real property tax exemption with the Hawksbill Creek Agreement scheduled to expire in summer 2015. The building of the long overdue high school in West Grand Bahama. The construction of a seawall to address the coastal erosion for Smith Point settlement. the final preparation for the business case for the construction of a new state-of-the-art hospital, the construction of a causeway to replace the present Fishing Hole Road, and finally, the construction of the long-awaited fire station.
Tonight, attorney Carrie Leonard is once again calling into question the quality of management by the Hutchison-Whampoa Group here on Grand Bahama. While addressing a meeting of the Chamber of Commerce yesterday, the well-known attorney charged that the Grand Bahama International Airport has unrealized potential. Leonard says the airport sits only 2 miles from one of the deepest harbors in the region and is centrally located between South America and Europe. He says because of its ideal location, the airport should be utilized for cargo shipment around the world.
I've been told they will not sell any property or give a ground lease for the construction of warehousing at the airport. Just as I am told that when Hutchison-Whampoa was approached by successful fixed base operators to build an FBO, they refused and instead built what can only be referred to as a cheap second-rate FBO owned and operated by, you guessed it, Hutchison-Whampoa. Why turn down a first-rate operator? Is it possible Hutchison-Whampoa's Hong Kong management is afraid that someone might show them up? Why turn away investment for Grand Bahama? This failure to encourage investment penalizes Bahamians. This is not the way a good corporate citizen is to behave.
Now, Hutchison-Whampoa also owns the Grand Lucine Resort, and Leonard is charging that they have failed to deliver passengers to the airport and, in turn, the resort. He compared the management style to that of the Atlantis Resort in New Providence, which he says brings in millions of tourists each year.
Indeed, Hutchison-Whampoa's Hong Kong management has sent us backwards, as the lower number of passengers, the greater proportionately the cost of ground handling, cost of fuel, landing, security fees. It seems clear that Hutchison-Whampoa's management must take the blame for the high cost of GBIA and its failure to reach a fraction of its potential. This failure means that many who should be employed at the airport and businesses that support an airport are not employed. Again, this inability of Hutchison-Whampoa's Hong Kong management to deliver has cost tens, maybe hundreds of Grand Bahamians to remain employed. Or it failed to provide for them and then they are still unemployed.
Well, we contacted Hutchison's office, but no one was available for comment. Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition continues right after this.
Bringing news that matters to you. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The legalization of marijuana for medicinal and recreational use is spreading across the United States, and most recently the Jamaican government announced that it is considering legalizing drug in that Caribbean island. Co-chair of the Bahamas National Drug Council, Joe Darville, says the Bahamas should not consider legalizing marijuana for recreational or medicinal use. He says it would not be in this country's best interest.
If we go further and to state that the Bahamas is now even thinking about decriminalizing or legalizing marijuana, it means that there will be an inclination on even a much larger percentage of our population to become accustomed to utilization of drugs.
Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell said on Tuesday that the issue should be studied. His comments follows Jamaica's talks of decriminalizing marijuana for medicinal purposes by year's end. Darville shares his views on this issue.
If at all our country would look towards anything to do with marijuana, having it incorporated within the commonwealth of our nation, then I would say that it has to be controlled, restricted, etc. in that particular domain.
Otherwise, Darville says we cannot let the drug loose in this country. Residents of Grand Bahama will have an opportunity to get free legal and financial counseling this coming weekend. The Rotary Club of Freeport is preparing to hold its second annual legal and financial aid clinic on Saturday at the Circle Mall from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. President Louis Allen talks about the significance of this event.
The whole purpose of this is to actually provide a service through the attorneys in our club and financial people around Grand Bahama to aid with those people that are less fortunate than we are, who may not have the readily available funds to go to an attorney such as Constance McDonald, my colleague, and other attorneys around here.
Now, the Legal and Financial Aid Clinic will also include immigration matters this year. Coordinator Attorney Constance McDonald and Chairman of Community Service Darren Cooper say this is just one way of giving back.
In this Grand Bahama community at this point in time, there are a lot of persons who are challenged financially. So what we try to do is, as a part of our service to the community, we know that, I know from my experience, people have a lot of family matters, probate matters, wills and stuff they need legal advice on. And a lot of times persons cannot afford to go to an attorney because attorneys charge fees for consultation.
Even in the area of immigration, one of the things I know, after the age of 18, if you have not reached or applied at 18, you then go through a long process for citizenship. And so it's good this time that we would have a representative from immigration that will walk persons through the process, give them the proper documentation, let them know what they need to have.
Now, in addition to local attorneys, there will also be representatives from a bank, insurance company, and the Immigration Department at the Legal Aid Clinic on Saturday. And in other news, fifth graders at Mary Star of the Sea School took a journey down home yesterday with a bit of rake and scrape and storytelling. Principal Robert Knapp says the 18th annual Down Home Festival is something that the students look forward to each year. Knapp says over the years it has become a vehicle for children to explore the way of life and times in the past.
It's a time when we encourage our grade 5 students who host it to celebrate the islands of the Bahamas, make connections with their heritage, with their grandparents, their parents, where they came from. So you'll see around the auditorium we have displays from Long Island, Cat Island, Andros, every island throughout the entire archipelago of the Bahamas. And so it's really a great time because the children get a chance, an opportunity to speak to their grandparents and to their uncles and aunts and those sort of things.
Now, the Down Home Festival has been around since the mid-90s. Knapp says over the years it's proven to be beneficial to students.
Social studies curriculum, get them an idea of the various aspects of each of the islands. Each island is different and unique in so many ways, and so they get to understand it. And in Grand Bahama, we tend to be a little bit more cosmopolitan, a little bit more Americanized, so to speak. And so to get them to understand about the food and the heritage and the way of life that we've lost here in Grand Bahama to a degree, it's very important, and it kind of strengthens their national pride.
Spring Break Through the Bahamas 2014 kicking off next month. The local committee spearheading 3 days of fun for students on break from the books for colleges in the United States. Coordinator Derek Stubbs says local students are also expected to join in the fun events that will also include some international celebrities.
We have Mr. Chaz Shepard, who is coming. Chaz is known for his role as Trey in the show The Game. So many persons would know him from that, and he also starred in the movie The Temptation. So he's going to be here to interact with the young people, and I must say that Chaz is a born-again Christian. And so parents have no fear of the fact that your children are meeting celebrity, but he is a born-again child of God.
Now, activities will get started on March 14th with the festival at the St. George's Gym. Stubbs says this is one way of providing good quality activities for the college students.
The purpose of this whole event is to give people things to do around the spring break season that is more spiritually based and clean. I think spring break is normally attached to the carousing and the drinking and you know all the other negatives that goes with it. And so we have decided to do something for those young Christians that are in college and you know they want a break, to know that they can come to the Bahamas and have something positive to do.
Now, activities will continue on the 15th with a basketball tournament and a worship service the following Sunday. Stay with us. Sports is up next with Megan Shepard.
Everybody, welcome to Sports. I'm Megan Shepard. The Swing Dr. Junior Golf Tournament played on the Ruby Golf Course. Ricardo Lightbone reports that the future of the game looks good.
Meet junior golfers Xavier Robinson, Chad Clark, Cameron Riley, and Aaron Bastian. Chad teed it up for the Spring Doctors Tournament at the Ruby. Cameron had the driver working, and that one is long. Aaron is a long ball hitter, and pro Greg Maycock confirmed. Xavier Robinson with the new equipment and making the adjustment. On the greens, Chad Clark had the line, but a bit too aggressive. Xavier used the tournament as a starter for his year and a good feel with the putter. Aaron also took what the greens gave and a par in this one. Cameron says he's got some work to do this year and it's only February. The players feel pretty good about the golf year and their game will get better.
On the first 9, I didn't do particularly well. I could have done a lot better, but I'm gonna try to do my best on this 9 and try to get it going again.
I'm doing pretty good. I like my position so far. 41, it's not too bad, and I think further than I'd like to be shooting harder 70s, less 80s.
I'm playing okay. I mean, I've missed a couple of easy par putts, but I mean, I think I played well with a 43 on the first 9, but I mean, I've been playing really inconsistent so far.
I played the back 9 pretty good. It wasn't that bad. Yeah, the weather conditions really got a bit bad, but we just had to stick through it.
Aaron, Cameron, and Chad, they also look pretty good as far as the future game of golf, and it's in good hand. Jim Duncombe said he's only concerned with the juniors is playing time and a place to play at that.
The only challenge I'm facing right now is places to play. If we can get once a month on any golf course in Nassau, our kids would be world class. Just once a month. That's all I'm asking.
Do you see it coming anytime soon?
Actually, yes. I'm going to start campaigning Monday when I get back. I'm going to certain people and I'm going to ask the questions, and I think I'm going to get it.
Now, the Grand Bahama Basketball Association returned to center court Wednesday with the Warriors Real Life defeating the Showtime Knights 60-52. Petro Williams and Ricardo Seville both scored 17 to pace the Warriors. Alan Prosper netted 16 in the loss. The Rock Stars defeated the Tankers Predators 83-55. Clemente Martin scored 23 for the Stars. Ronald Woodside with 13 in the loss. The College of the Bahamas Athletic Department will be on Grand Bahama Saturday, recruiting soccer and basketball athletes for its collegiate programs. The soccer tryouts is scheduled for 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Saturday at the Freeport Rugby Club field for boys in the 11th and 12th grades. The basketball tryout is scheduled for Saturday at 11 a.m. at the YMCA. High school athletes are encouraged to participate in the session, and scholarships are available to attend the College of the Bahamas. The Grand Bahama Amateur Softball Association will hold its annual general meeting this Friday, February 28th at the Susan J. Wallace Center starting at 6 p.m. Managers, coaches, and players are being asked to take an interest in the GBASA and league this season. The Bahama Softball Federation holding workout sessions this week for players interested in earning a spot on the national team heading to Central America and Caribbean Championships April 24th through May 3rd in Cali, Colombia. The session is scheduled for Friday, February 28th at 7 p.m. at the Grand Bahama Sports Complex softball facility, and again Saturday, March 1st, 8:30 a.m. The national team tryout is open to all male softball players. Sessions have already been held for players from Abaco, Eleuthera, and New Providence. And that's going to do it for sports tonight.